Hello and welcome to the Measure of Whisky, where we discuss all things Scotch whisky.
Friday and the race is on. The city's gonna be a mess.
So this week we are going to focus on tasting. How do we properly taste our whisky? Now I know there are a number of you watching this video thinking, what are you talking about? You put the dram in your mouth, you taste it, done, right? Not quite. There are a few more steps we want to go through in order to properly and effectively taste the whisky. And I should make it clear here, we're drinking for purpose, not purely for pleasure. If you're drinking purely for pleasure, you can put whatever you want in your whisky, drink it however you want, throw it in a cocktail, doesn't matter. But if you're drinking for purpose, and the purpose here is to taste the whisky, then there are some parameters that we want to follow. Essentially, when we're tasting the whisky, we want to try and experience the final expression that the distiller put into the bottle. So we want to follow these parameters in order to do that effectively. First of all, the glass. We want to try and make sure that the glass is narrower on the top than it is at the bottom. That's going to allow those congeners to really focus up in towards your nostrils when you're nosing the whisky. Secondly, make sure you pour it neat first of all, okay? Don't add anything to it, it should already be room temperature. So there are 4 components that we're going to focus on when we are tasting our whisky. We've got smell or nosing, we've got mouthfeel, we've got taste, and then we have got finish. First of all, nosing your whisky, right? There's a very, very specific method that we have to use when we're nosing our whisky. So pay close attention here. I'm going to gently bring it to our nose. Our nose goes in the glass and we gently take a smell. And we say, hi. We put the dram over here. We give it a little bit of a spin. We bring it back. How are you? Okay. Let it breathe a bit. Gently bring it back and you're going to say, nice to meet you. Okay? Those are the 3 ways that you have... Fucking Jesus Christ. No, you don't have to do that. Okay. The important factor here is we want to be gentle. We want to caress the whisky. We want it to unveil itself to us. If you dive in there and take a big sniff of it, you're going to get slapped in the face with ethanol. That's not going to be enjoyable. Okay? The dram's going to say, back off a bit here. Be gentle. And then I might reveal a bit more to you. So both nostrils have to go into the glass. Use your left, use your right. Gently try and distinguish those aromas that are coming through. Oh, it's magnificent. Importantly, and in the words of Richard Patterson, if I see you nosing your whisky like this, I'll kill you. Make sure both nostrils get in that glass and you gently, gently breathe in, inhale those aromas and allow that whisky to gently reveal itself to you. Okay? We have mouthfeel. What we are attempting to do here is distinguish how the dram feels on the palate. Is it oily? Is it thick? Is it dry? Is it thin? Take a sip. You're going to just squeeze it gently between your tongue and the roof of your mouth. The palate up there. You don't need to swirl it around your mouth. Don't do that. What does it feel like? Okay? Gently swallow. That takes us on to the next component, which is taste. What are those initial flavours that come through? What's the first thing that hits you? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Okay, and lastly is the finish. Is it lingering? Is it a long finish? Is it a short finish? Is it sharp? Okay, is it really smooth? Amazing. I've got a Glenfarclas 12 here, which is easily one of my go-tos. It's really, really easy drinking. Quite dangerous, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's nice and fresh. It's got a lot of caramel. It's got a lot of sort of woody notes to it as well. But anyway, we're not going to go into that in too much detail. So, once you've gone through those 4 components, what I would like you to do is add a little bit of water. How much water do you add? It's kind of up to yourself, but my suggestion here is take a look at the ABV of the whisky. Is it round about 40%? If it is, you're going to need a tiny, tiny drop of water, about that much. Might have even been too much there, to be honest. Okay? If it's a little bit higher, if it's a cask strength, for example, and it's up at 60%, you might want to add a little bit more. But essentially, the reason for adding that bit of water is it's just going to cut the alcohol by a little bit, and it's going to allow for a lot more flavours, a lot more aroma to come out of the glass and to go into your mouth. So you go through the exact same process again. You're going to nose your whiskey, you're going to do some mouthfeel, you're going to taste it, and you are going to feel the finish and enjoy. Slainte.
And the race is on. The city's gonna be